Welcome to SupboardGuide.com. Today we are going to be reviewing the Thurso Surf Water Walker all-around stand-up paddleboard line. We're really excited to do this review. Once again, the Thurso Surf Water Walker has been rated one of our top-rated all-around inflatable SUPs for 2020, and for really good reason. Thurso's really done a great job this year of adding some new things to the board, carbon fiber rails, a new look, just a lot of really cool upgrades. And so we wanted to bring in all three of these boards in this review so you can see how the boards are a little bit different from each other and really decide which one is the best fit for you. So yeah, we're really excited, and let's dive right in. So let's dive in to kind of the specs, the shape, the materials, everything that kind of makes up the Thurso Surf Water Walker line. Let's start with kind of the construction, the materials, what it's made out of, because Thurso makes one of the most solid, really nice feeling paddle boards on the inflatable side, and you really see that in the construction. So with these here, and all three of the boards have the same construction. The only real difference is the size. So in the center of the Thurso Surf Water Walker, you have that nice drop stitch core that gives the board shape and the rigidity, and then they wrap that with a layer of PVC. So on Thurso's website, if you go, it's a little bit confusing where it says it's a dual layer board, when in reality there's a lot more than that. So the first layer, according to Thurso, is that drop stitch core wrapped with one layer of PVC. Then the second layer, they have a PVC and then a material polyester and then one more layer of PVC. So total, they actually have 3 layers of PVC around the core of the board plus the drop stitch core. PVC just really gives it a really nice feel. Boards are a little bit heavier than some of the others by about 3-ish pounds, but in the water you really do feel it just very nice and solid. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. So again, you get those, what I'm going to call triple layer PVC, they call dual layer, right? But then on the sides of the board, they actually add they call it quad layer protection. So there's 4 different layers of PVC on the sides to further kind of enhance. With inflatables, your biggest issue potentially is actually the seams kind of delaminating and kind of leaking air through some of those seams. So you're not going to have that issue with the Thurso at all because of that quad layer protection on the rails. This year, brand new for 2020, Thurso went one step even farther and added a carbon fiber rail enhancement that just really stiffens the board even further. Yes, it adds a little bit of weight adding these carbon fiber rails, but it really gives the board just a fantastic solid hardboard feel. I mean, these things are really rock solid, very steady and very stable. So that's the material, right? Now, as far as shape goes, kind of taking a step back and looking at them, you notice they're all three basically the same shape. This one, the 120 is 10 foot, the 126, 10 foot 6, so if you just translate this to inches, right? And then the 132 is 11 feet. The 120 is 30 inches wide, 31 inches wide on the 126, and 32 inches wide on the 132. And I really like how Thurso has done that, because basically what these boards are is kind of go back by your height and your weight and what you want stability wise, and you can kind of pick a board that's just perfect for you. Typically, if you're someone who, you're 5'4" below, you're kind of a little bit on the, less tall side, we'll say, the 120 is going to be just a really nice board. And the 30-inch width, it doesn't take away from the stability much. Definitely you get more stable here, less stable. You also get a little faster here and a little bit less fast, just because of the length, and the more length you have in connection with the water, the more you can kind of glide through, but they're all very fast boards. So again, going back to the 10-foot board, you know, if you're kind of a little bit of a shorter person, you don't weigh very much at all, 100 pounds, 115 pounds or whatever, and you want a little more of a maneuverable, nimble board, the 10-foot all around is a really good option. It's nice that it's only 30 inches wide, because as you're paddling and you really want to keep that paddle vertical, the farther over you have to bend, it just makes it a little bit harder and takes a little bit more practice to keep that paddle vertical, which is one of the #1 factors for keeping the board straight. So if you kind of start out around like the 5-foot height, you know, you go to 5'6", 5'8", 5'9", and then 5'9", 5'10", and above. That's our general recommendations based off of height. As far as weight goes, I mean, the weight capacity on these are just fantastic. The 132 has a weight capacity of 330 pounds. You have 300 pounds on the 126 and 270 pounds on the 120. So, and that is one note about Thurso is that's actually a true weight capacity where it's almost a functional weight capacity. Yes, if you put 300 pounds on the 132, it's going to slow it down a little bit, but it's still going to perform. Thurso, I find, is a little more conservative on listing their weight capacities than other companies, and there's some value to that. There's also some challenges. In all honesty, you'll be able to put more than 300 pounds on this board. It'd be more of like a 400 poundish weight capacity board for some of the other brands. But what they're trying to do is just say, they're trying to say that you have a functional weight capacity of 330 pounds on the Water Walker 132. So again, weight capacity, you're not going to worry about it. As far as kind of the shape goes of the board, you'll notice they're a little rounded at the top, tapered just a little bit, not a lot. So it's kind of that, they took a touring board, an all-around board, and kind of put it in the middle. I would say it tends a little bit more towards the all-around side than the touring board side. As you see, so again at the top, still pretty wide, good volume up there, and then expands here. Here's the where it's the widest, and then it tapers down at the bottom, but it doesn't taper a ton, right? And what I find with this shape is it really is a solid all-around shape. So it's going to be great for pretty much all-around conditions. Lakes, you know, flat water, rivers, oceans. I would feel, to be honest, in terms of even some whitewater stuff, I'd feel confident on these because they are very stable. Probably lean a little more towards this one because you have that 32-inch width. But you could do some of that if you're wanting to, just because of the really good durable construction. Taking out in the ocean, surfing small waves, paddling around the lake, it really is just a great shape for all-around conditions. And as one of the other big things with Thurso, and this kind of plays into the shape, is the tracking and the glide. The founder of Thurso, he's PhD in thermodynamics, fluid dynamics. He can correct me if I'm wrong there, but really smart guy, and has kind of modeled these out to try to give you, again, the best all-around experience where you have the optimal tracking and glide and the optimal stability. And Thurso really has done a good job. When we're out paddling, they just feel they not only feel really solid and stable, but they are some of the fastest boards once you get them going. They are a little bit on the heavy side. So those first couple paddles, it takes a little bit longer, you know, if you've got a 30-pound board like the 132 to get it going versus, say, a 24-foot-pound board. But once you get it going, it really glides and tracks really well, really solid, and just has a great overall feel to it. So kind of bottom line, from like a material standpoint, shape standpoint, we really do think Thurso knocked it out of the park this year and has done some really good things, and love the Water Walker. So now we're going to jump in kind of the features of what are on the board. And Thurso's really packed a lot of cool stuff this year. So I'm just going to kind of start at the top and go down. And remember, all three boards, same features. Again, just a little bit different size. So looking at the board, looking up at the top, you notice they added that action mount. So you can add, I mean, like a GoPro type thing up there. There's other accessories that you can put in those action mounts, but we really like the fact that they could do that. Just makes it a little fun if you want to do some GoPro stuff. Handles wise, you've got these three really nice handles. They're really nice feeling, good thick neoprene, really solid. You can see up at the top how it's got an extra layer of PVC to kind of hold that there. So really nice handles. Makes launching the board nice and easy. Carrying it around if you've got two kids or two different people, you can grab the ends. So love that. Up front, you have a really large cargo area with this nice bungee cord. So you see the 6 D-rings that kind of hold that, and so you can put coolers, dry bags, sandals, whatever you want up front. So you've got those 6 D-rings up there. In the middle, you've got these additional 4 D-rings here, and that's where you will use for their kayak seat, which I'll show you in a minute. So additional D-rings there. You can clip some other things there. You've got the center handle. You have one really cool thing with the Thurso is you have the strap here where you can attach the paddle to. So if you're sitting around, you want to do some yoga, and to be honest, it's a feature that I wish every paddleboard had. It's just really nice. As you can see, it just completely stays out of the way while you're out paddling. So if you're going on like a long trip where you've got coolers and bags, etc., you're going to sit down and eat a sandwich, have a drink, really nice that you can just put that to the side. Moving on to the deck pad. It's a really nice deck pad. Cool kind of Thurso logos in here that give you the nice grip. It doesn't have any of the longer grooves, but in general it has a really good feel to it, very comfortable, and you do have really nice grip. So love the deck pad. Nice thick, really high quality EVA foam. Side note, they put this up here. I just like the look of it. I think it's really cool. Kind of shows what model you've got, and it's just a nice kind of a plastic type logo right there. Moving down to the bottom, again, another little plastic logo adds to kind of the look. You have a second storage area, and this one's a smaller area. You've got 4 D-rings here, a 5th one here for your leash, a nice handle, and then your valve. So as you can kind of see, whatever you want to kind of attach to this board, bring with you, a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of different accessories, and just overall from a look standpoint, we personally, I mean obviously looks are always very personal, but we find we really like this kind of, you know, wood type of grain retro look, and a lot of other people do. So we do think Thurso did a great job designing the board, putting everything together, all these nice accessories that you can attach, but they're still out of your way. You have a lot of deck pad to kind of play around with. They just did a really good job with those. So now we're going to look at everything that comes in the kit when you order the Water Walker. One of the nice things, and a lot of sub companies are doing this nowadays, and we love it, is they're pretty much including everything you could possibly need to get out on the water. Now Thurso though has kind of taken a step forward this year, and they've improved about every single one of their of the accessories that come. So I want to go into that because we really love how they did that. So first of all, the bag. The Thurso bag's one of the nicest quality bags, just really nice thick quality materials, really nice zippers. Just a really nice bag. You get a nice, you know, you have a nice pouch inside to put like fins, etc. The area that Thurso improved a lot, last year the wheels were on the back part here, and so when you'd be dragging it, the straps and stuff would kind of get caught and tangled, and so they moved the wheels to the front, which is really nice. So when you're carrying the board, that doesn't get in the way. It also doesn't kind of hit the back top side of your backside when you put the bag on, and so it just makes it a really nice comfortable backpack to wear. It is not the lightest backpack. This is not the lightest pack with the Thurso Surf Waterwalker. So if you are looking for something that you're gonna like backpack in 5 miles, just know you're about 4 to 5 pounds heavier than some of the other boards. Everything in stand-up paddleboarding is kind of a trade-off, and the weight that you add with the Water Walker, you get back in kind of stability, glide, tracking. So it's kind of up to you, but I did want to make you aware that it is a little bit heavier on that side of things. So again, we love the backpack. We love that there's the pouch up front. You have this other kind of see-through pouch here. You've got the wheels, just a really good quality backpack. The only other thing that I'd like to see them improve is for some of the bigger boards, like the 11-foot. It still fits, and the 11-foot fits fairly well, but I wouldn't mind just a couple extra inches there. The 10-foot goes in just way extra space. 10-foot 6, same thing. 11-foot you get a little bit tight, but it really isn't a problem. Just for those who are a little bit less lazy and don't want to get all the air out, just know you are going to have to get more of the air out on the 11-foot. So moving on, the leashes, really kind of cool thing. Thurso includes a really nice coiled leash. It's a swivel leash, quick release here, little spot for your key. So good, really comfortable leash. And when you strap it in back here, it's coiled so it doesn't go in the water, doesn't drag, doesn't get tangled. So it's nice, safe, good quality leash. And I love how they color coded everything. So this yellow goes with the yellow, the kind of turquoise goes with the 10-foot. You've got a brown one for the 11-foot. It's kind of the little details, but I just really love that about Thurso. Moving on to the other thing that they really improved this year is the dual chamber triple action pump. Love this pump. It's very powerful. It's got your 3 settings. So setting number 1, you're pushing air in both on the upstroke and the downstroke. Setting number 2, not easier to lift up. You're going to push down. Make sure I got those right. When you push down, you're letting air in, but not on the upstroke. Number 3, when it gets really hard, it goes down to just a single chamber. No air pushed in on the upstroke, only on the downstroke. So it's really capable pump. You can pump this up in about 10 minutes once you get going. They also, side note, do have an electric pump, and I would highly recommend buying that. It just makes it a little bit easier. You can just drink your cup of coffee before you go out on the water. Back to this pump though. One thing that I really like about it is it's really compact. So these handles come off here, right? And they just slide right on top of this. Or sorry, they slide from underneath. Right? And then this here, if I can do it, yeah, there we go. Goes like this, and then this you just strap around the pump. You take this off and it just fits in the bag, really compact and nice. So again, that's what they're able to keep this bag a little bit smaller, partially because of this. And I really do like that. So if you do want a kind of a more compact setup, awesome pump, really good quality, really like that. Other thing, Thurso did upgrade their paddle. So the paddle that this comes with is a carbon paddle. Let me step out front here. So it's carbon fiber shaft nylon blade. It weighs 33 ounces and has a really nice grip here. So let me put it together, right? So to put it together, I also really like the system that they have. It keeps it nice and tight. So all you do is pop that open, kind of snap that in, lock it in place, but there's also the clamp. The clamp's really nice because it makes it so it doesn't turn laterally and keeps the paddle nice and stiff. Same thing up top here. You can put this in and it slides in and out. One thing to notice, some paddles will have kind of a little ridge here so you can't turn it. This one does not have that, so you do have to make sure you're kind of lining it up properly when you're sliding it in. But when you lock it down, you can tighten that as tight as you want, and so it just ends up being just a really nice hard paddle. The carbon fiber is lightweight, the blade's the nylon blade, and the only thing that I would just notice is you do have a little more weight on the nylon blade, so we would hope kind of in the future, I'm kind of expecting them to go to a little bit lighter weight nylon blade, bring that down 2 or 3 ounces, and we're only talking 2 or 3 ounces. And it is definitely a good quality paddle for this price level board. Really happy with that. And I also really do like this grip. It's just a really nice handle that lets you grip. You can kind of do it whichever way because you can kind of turn that. Again, I loosened that so I could do this. If it feels more comfortable here, do it there. If it doesn't, use it this way. So really versatile, nice lightweight paddle, breaks down into those 3 pieces, and a fantastic value for this kind of price range board. Last, you have the 3 snap lock fins. They kept it the same as last year. So I'm just going to flip this over and show you kind of how those work. Now we're going to look at the fins. As I mentioned, they're the snap lock hard nylon fins, and you can kind of see on this one we've really put these boards through the ringer here as we've been testing them. Ran into rocks, shoreline, drug it all over the place. And really, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of discoloration, but these fins are really durable, really firm. and they go in really nice and easy. So a lot of people really like this. No, it's not a US fin box, so you don't have quite the functionality, but there are actual river fins that you can buy for these now, which kind of takes away some of the need for the US fin box, and you get the ease of use with the snap lock. So you just put it in, snap it, you're done. In, snap, done. You got the two side fins, obviously. Quick and easy, really nice, firm. We've never had any issues with losing these. If you do, you can get them from Thurso really easily. They're really cheap. And to take them out, you just pop that pin, pull it out. And you're talking, you know, 20 seconds to put the fins in, 5 seconds to get them out, if that. So again, just overall, really nice fin set. We're really happy with it. Now we're going to look at some of the optional accessories that you can get with the Thurso boards. Again, the boards have a lot of D-rings, a lot of different, you know, storage bungee areas. So you can definitely add a lot of accessories to the board if you want. And so we're just going to go through some of the options that you have, and also kind of a shout out to some of the gear they've got, the hats, the glasses. I've got another, oh, there we go. They have a couple of glasses options. And to be honest, the glasses are really nice. It's a very clear lens. I was not expecting that from Thurso. These are some of my new favorite glasses. Also love the look. So outside of the wearables, you have a couple different cooler options, right? So you have this smaller cooler here, and it has a zipper up top for, you know, putting stuff in. It comes with these little suction cup, you know, bungees. I personally would just be a little bit careful. I would not be using these for your phone, but if something else, you can definitely use them for. Also really nice, comes with these other little kind of clip bungees, which you clip to the bottom of this. So you can either just take it, move that out of the way, and kind of just shove it underneath here if you want, or you can actually use those clips and clip into this little loop here and snap it into the bungees. So really cool little cooler, and it'll definitely keep stuff cold for a while. They have a larger cooler that has a little bit better insulation, comes with a little carry handle, nice little strap. You also have some Velcro compartments here that are really nice. On the bottom, they come with these carabiners. So you just strap that in, and then you can tie that into this D-ring here, or again, you can also just shove it under if you're lazy and just want to get out quickly. So nice little cooler right there. It also comes with the phone proof holder, which is just kind of nice to have. So good little setup on that. One of the favorite additional accessories that people like is the kayak seat. So as you can see, you can kind of set it up, you adjust it, kind of using 4 different points here where you want them kind of tight, and you can kind of adjust the seat to be a little more laid back. I've paddled around with my 3-year-old, and he loves these seats. And then when it's time for a nap, I just kind of, you know, set it down a little bit, and he goes right to sleep. So really fun, really nice accessory in the kayak seat, especially if you're nervous and standing, you're worried about the stability and kind of want to learn a little bit. You can definitely easily just unclip this and move it out of the way, paddle a little bit, clip it back on. So just really like the kayak seats. They also have a SUP carrying strap. That's pretty intense. You can kind of wrap it around the board and carry it. You can kind of see a picture there that you can add as well. To be honest, you know, if you're just one person and you're carrying a lot of gear, a SUP carry strap is actually kind of nice, because you can carry the board on one shoulder and maybe the cooler or backpack or whatever else with the other hand, and kind of free things up. So again, those are some of the accessories that you get with the Thurso. All are really nice. All the accessories are really nice, high quality accessories, and we really like them. Wanted to get the Thurso out on the water and kind of talk about how it does from a stability standpoint, from a tracking and glide standpoint, from a maneuverability standpoint. As we mentioned, the shape of the board is definitely kind of leaning more towards the all-around shape. You know, this one I'm on the 11-foot, so it's 32 inches wide, 11 feet long. Again, the other ones just trim down a little bit in the middle and on the length, but the shape is the same. The rounded nose tapers a little bit at the back, but it's still really stable, right? From a stability standpoint, when they added those carbon rails, It keeps the board really firm. I mean, you see it flex a little bit, but for an inflatable, I mean, this thing feels like a hard board out here and just makes it really nice and a stable platform. The 32 inches and the 11-foot length on the 11-foot, this is going to be the most stable board. As you step down, you'll lose just a little bit in stability. And so if stability is one of your concerns, go with the 11-foot, right? From a tracking and glide standpoint, that's just one of the things that we really love about the Thurso. I mean, the water's glass right now, right? But as you paddle, there's just something about this shape the Thurso has done that just really, it glides really well, it tracks really well. I mean, you'll see I'm not zigzagging all over the place. It just has a really nice glide feel to it. And that's true on all the boards. The 11-foot is gonna be a little faster, and then you're gonna step down because you have just more board in the water. It just kind of more contact, you glide through a little bit more, but not a ton more. So all the boards really fantastic with the tracking, with the glide, and it's one of our favorite things of the Thurso. Yes, as we mentioned, this board, this one's 30 pounds, so it's a little bit heavier on those first couple paddles to get it going. It's not like super quick, it's not like a rabbit off the starting line, but once you get it going, it just glides and holds that glide really well. So again, one of the reasons why we really like the Thurso. From a maneuverability standpoint, it's an all-around board. You can maneuver it, you know, with like a wide stroke out here. Probably one of the easiest ones is kind of this backstroke, right? So you can definitely turn, maneuver around just fine. When you get to be a little more advanced and you start kind of wanting to do some of those, you know, the back step turns, the Thurso really does provide a good platform to learn that on because it's a little bit thicker in the tail. So you just step back here and you don't have to you're not going to really be able to throw this tail down in the water, which I'm not going to try because I got the mic on me, but there's a lot of volume here, so it's not going to really let you do that. But you can definitely get that nose up and just kind of slowly, you know, turn around, and you'll notice you really can kind of turn on a dime with that, and that wider platform in the back just makes it a little bit easier to do that step back turn. So for beginners looking to do that, really nice. If you're trying to throw that back tail down 2 feet into the water, you're gonna have to get pretty far back. But it is, like we said, it's just a great all-around maneuverable board. Now, between the 11-foot, the 10.6, and the 10-foot board, this is gonna be, the 11-foot's gonna be your least maneuverable board. As you can see though, it's still just maneuverable enough for anything you want to do. The 10-foot is going to be a little bit more sporty, a little more maneuverable. So even if you're, you know, 6 foot, 6'2", if you want something that is extra sporty, then I would go with the 10-foot. If you're someone who's a little shorter and you want something with more deck length, more stability, then you go with the 11-foot, and you kind of go in between, just depending on kind of what you want and what your personal preference is. Even from a look standpoint, we love the look on all of them. I wish you could get every color with every length. Like for me personally, I prefer the 11-foot length. I just like that little bit extra glide you get. I have, you know, a handful of kids that love to come out with me, and so I like the 11-foot length for that. But my favorite color is kind of that yellow orange in the 10-foot. I still love this brown and burnt orange in the back look, but that's maybe one thing that's also hard to do from a manufacturing, so I'm not going to knock Thurso for it. But, you know, from an all-around perspective, again, performance-wise, one of the best performing boards that we have for stability, for tracking and glide. Maneuverability is just what we would expect from an all-around stand-up paddleboard. And again, just one of those reasons why we really do love the Thurso. So as you can tell, we really do love the Thurso Surf Waterwalker lineup. It's why, just like last year, it's right at the top of our best top-rated inflatable all-around stand-up paddleboards for 2020. And really kind of bottom line, if you're someone who wants a really solid board that tracks and glides really well in the water, but it's still an all-around shape. So you can take it from the lake to the river to the ocean and just do whatever you want. Then the Thurso is definitely a board that you should consider. We love the looks, we love all the features that Thurso has added, and we think they did a really great job. So if you want to learn more, go to our website, www.supboardguide.com, where you can read an in-depth review of each of these boards, see pictures. You can shoot us a question by email or a contact form, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. Also, subscribe to our channel if you'd like. We're going to be doing a lot of different video reviews. We're also going to start adding some quick tips for stand-up paddleboarding to help improve you out there. But just again, bottom line, we love the Thurso Surf Waterwalker, think they did a great job and should definitely be considered when you're looking for an all-around stand-up paddleboard.